Hey guys, Portia here. Today I'll be creating a sublimation design for this 12-ounce stainless steel wine cup. The unique thing about this particular wine cup is that it has this diamond pattern down here, which I am absolutely loving. So when I go to create the design, I don't necessarily want to cover it all the way up. I'm going to ensure that the design is full coverage toward the top. We're going to do a little bit of ombre effect to fade into white toward the bottom to allow our diamond pattern to breathe and still pop. Because honestly guys, I don't know how well we can sublimate over the diamond pattern with the texture and all the divots. It's just not going to get in there the way we would like it to. So we will be using Canva for this particular design. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I am going with a holiday theme because it's holiday season. So let's kick things off by creating a design, and we're going to do a custom size. Now this particular tumbler is tapered, and we are going to account for that in our design. So just stick with me guys. But our width, well first I always forget to change this. Our width is going to be 10.9, and then the height is 4.5. And so we're going to say create a new design. Now, the first thing that I want to do is insert our base color in here. And I want to go with something nice and bright. And there is a red here. I have this color palette here called Berry Red. But if you need to know the hex code, it is CF0029 for this red. Now the next element that I want to add in, so let's go to elements, and I am going to search for fade. So because the bottom of our tumbler has a really cute pattern there, I want to ensure that we can see it. Not trying to cover it up, not trying to figure out what that looks like if I try to sublimate over it. Not trying to do that right now. So I'm going to stretch this out because I want the bottom of our design to fade to white. And so let's make this a little bit smaller. That is fade to white for us. Bring this down a little bit. I can adjust this as we go on. And also I want the sides to fade to white as well. I'm not really too concerned about the back seam. There will be white in the back, and I want to leave that as is. I'm going to duplicate that, pull this over here. So now we're working with a fade on all three sides, which is cool. All right, the next element that I want to bring in, like I mentioned, this is holiday themed. So I'm going to type in snowflakes. And we can place, so I want to place snowflakes at the top and the bottom. And we can do individual snowflakes, but that's going to be a little bit of a pain. Well, it depends. It depends. You can totally go individual and then change the colors as you see fit according to your design, but I'm not doing that today. I'm going to look for some snowflakes that are already grouped together. And we have these here, and then we're going to change this to white. So what I want to do first is place some snowflakes up top here, and then I'm going to duplicate, and I am going to keep going and move them around, size them, all that other stuff, just to create some visual variation. But for the most part, and then we can flip if we want to, it's going to be the same pattern over and over. But because there's multiples in here, it kind of gives us a little bit more to work with. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so we now have snowflakes all the way across the top. And you could play with this as much or as little as you want to. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is that we are dealing with a tapered tumbler, as I mentioned before, and the top of this is a curve. So what's eventually going to be cut out of this particular image is a curve so that it'll wrap around our tumbler pretty well. So What I'm trying to say is a lot of this up top is going to get cut out. So just be mindful of that as you are making your design. And then I'll show you guys a little bit later how we make sure that we have enough of our image in our actual design. So what I want to do next is add some snowflakes down at the bottom. So I'm going to duplicate this again, and we are going to begin to place snowflakes down here. And like I said, like we did up top, you can vary the size, but as you can tell, they're all fading to white. We can flip again. All right, so we have flakes up top. We got some toward the bottom, and then we have our fading here, which is honestly giving me snow, and I'm loving that. I want to slide back over to elements again, and this time I want to search Christmas tree. And we have a lot of trees to choose from, but I am kind of sticking with white here, and I want all my elements to be white. So you can scroll through, see which ones you like, but this one here I like a lot. I love the swirly whirly curly. It adds a bit of elegance to our design, and it's the wrong color, so let's go ahead and change that. And what I'm going to do is just place these trees strategically. I don't know how strategic it's going to be. But what I am doing is, if you see the snowflakes up top, I'm kind of adding a star to our little tree. So I'm going to size that and put that there. I like that. And then come through with some more. And I'm kind of lining the trees up with the star, well, the snowflakes there. It makes it look like stars. And I want to put it all, well, not all the way across, but mostly across the bottom here. Now I am leaving the center open for some words. So let's just get our trees. All right, that looks pretty good. So I wanted some to be big and small, kind of create a little visual interest in there, and I might throw some more in there, but like I said, we're leaving this center open for some words. So let's go to our text here, and I am going to add in 4 text boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the first box I want to write "'tis the." In the second box, season, make that a capital S. 2. Okay, so that is going to be the center of our design here. And these words, or rather this font, is not going to work. So let's go ahead and change our font. So I have recently used all of these fonts, so they are right here already. Okay, so the first font we are going to use is called Beyond the Mountains. And I do believe I got that from defont.com. All of my fonts came from defont.com. Let's go ahead and adjust that. And the next one is called Christmas Sparkle, and that's going to be our season. Go back in with Beyond. And then the last one is going to be Daytime Gift. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the colors changed here. All right, so like I said, this is our centerpiece. So what I want to do is kind of bring this down and center it here. Make it a little bit smaller. Now season has a little sparkle around it, and I love that, so let's make it bigger. And I want to kind of nestle it right with the "'tis the." Then we have season in there, and we have our 2. Put that right there. I think that looks fine. All right, and you know what? I want to switch this font out. That's Daytime. I want to put Beyond there because I like the little wing that it gives our W. And I think that fits in there a little bit better. So I am going to switch this out to, was it daytime? Yes, I like that better, guys. And I want to move this out the way because I definitely want this little area to be legible. All right, guys, so I think we are all good here. What I am going to do is select all of our words here, and I want to group those together. That'll help me to kind of get them aligned and be in the center the way I want them to. Now, remember I mentioned a bit earlier that the large portion is going to get cut off at the top, and let me show you what I am talking about. So I got this template here from Etsy, and I want to move it forward. And the template size for the tumbler itself is going to be 10.81 by 3.48, and we can kind of mess with that to mimic what we need here. 2.8 by 3.5, that's fine. So the reason why I'm bringing this template in now, we are going to bring it in a little bit later again when it's time to cut, but I want you all to make sure that when you're creating your design that everything fits in there the way that you want it to. So we absolutely have the 'tis the season in there. We know that our trees are in there, and like I mentioned before, this top half is going to be cut off, so you could even move the snowflakes down a little bit, but I don't want to do all of that. It just makes it more complicated. But if I just put a lot of snowflakes across the top, I know it's going to be enough to cover. So let me just get rid of that because we don't need that anymore. Now what I do want to do is add a couple of more trees in here to kind of fill in the space. Okay guys, so I have messed around with everything, made some adjustments rather here and there. Like I said, remember a large portion of our top here will be cut out, but I did want to ensure that the words, which is the center of attention, is going to be fully on our tumbler. Now another thing is, of course, you can change this color to match whatever mood you're in. Purple is my favorite color, and I thought about actually doing the background in purple, but I was like, nah, just in case I want to give it away. I want to kind of make it something neutral. The green totally does work as well, and then blue and white is pretty dope for a design like this. But I do believe I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the bright red. I just want to show you guys a couple of options. So what I want to do now is download this image, and I always like to download as a PDF print because for some reason that just works best for me. Once we do download our image, what we are going to do is get it cut out. So like I showed you earlier, we're going to use this particular template to cut it out with our Cricut Maker, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So let's slide on over to Cricut, or rather Cricut Design Space. So here's the template here, and initially I brought it in as 10.81 by 3.48. And I realized when I did a test cut that I just needed a little more space. I'm hoping this is enough as far as the width, but if not, remember our sides are going to be white, so when they come together it is going to leave a little bit of a fade there, which is so what's going to happen is once I actually print out my design, I am going to use the Cricut Maker to cut this shape out of that particular picture. And let me go ahead and show you what the mat looks like. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like before I actually cut it out. So all we're going to do is cut that shape, the tapered tumbler, well, wine tumbler shape out on this piece of paper, and it's going to give us a little bit of everything. So we're going to get the ombre, we're definitely going to get our middle section there, and then we're going to pretty much be cutting off the top half here. So let's go ahead and get that done. So we are all cut out, and let's go ahead and put it on our tumbler. I always like to turn it upside down to ensure that this gets as near the edge as possible. And then let's bring it on around. And I'm not using my regular press, so I have a straight tumbler press. I got the mug press. It will not work well. This is not gonna work well in the like the Cricut mug press. So I'm using my VEVOR heat press that came with a lot of different accessories. And one of the accessories was for a concave design. And this is heating up now, so it's wider up top and it's more skinny at the bottom, which is going to support our tumbler here a lot better. So let me let that finish heating up and get taped down real well so we ain't got no gaps. All right. And there we go. So it looks like it did what we wanted it to do, but you never know, y'all. All right, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. Okay, y'all, we're gonna look at it together. Can y'all see? Okay, here we go. Okay, it did it, y'all. All right, I love a reveal. I love a reveal. All right, y'all, 'tis the season to wine. I am so loving this pattern. As you can tell, I did go ahead and print in purple. I initially thought I was gonna print in red, but I changed my mind right before I fully sent it to the printer. Like I said, go with whatever mood you are feeling. I really love how the fade worked with the white. I was not certain how that was gonna work out, but I think it did just fine. A couple of things to note. Please go ahead and practice the pattern, the shape of the pattern on your tumbler first. So don't go ahead and just print because you're gonna waste ink. But yeah, practice on regular old construction paper or even just plain old printer paper with your inkjet printer. Cut that shape out and then determine whether or not you have the right size, because it'll save you a lot of headaches. So I definitely did practice the shape. I didn't practice the design. I pretty much made that up as we went along. But the shape itself, you're gonna want to make sure it fits your tumbler. Yeah, this is all I have for you today. I just want to share with you all my holiday themed wine tumbler. If you got any questions, concerns, emotional outbursts, let me know. If you found this video helpful or just plain old entertaining, could you go ahead and give it a thumbs up? But guys, as always, until next time, peace.